This is a recipe for violence right here. Simple. Prado is going to walk forward and he's going to try to knock him out early. Jake Matthews is going to do everything in his power to probably extend the fight, maybe do a little bit of wrestling, but you have to slow down the athletic dudes. This is how I feel when I'm in jiu-jitsu and I'm against the 19-year-old wrestler who just has an infinite gas tank. I'm like, I have to slow you down. Stop moving, please. You know what I mean? I think Jake Matthews has to do that. Jake Matthews isn't old in his own right, but he's at 30 years old, 20-7, has a wealth of experience that Francisco Prado can only dream of when the man is only 22 years old. What do you make of it?
Yeah, Derek, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I do think Jake Matthews, at least by timestamp, if you will, like in our head, he's a lot older of a fighter going forward, man. 30 is not that old, and he does have a wealth of experience. Prado has a lot of things going for him in this fight, man. Solid boxing, good power. If he's able to catch Matthews in one of those transitional periods where Matthews is looking to mix it up, because I think he's going to be, through some strikes, through some takedowns, be confusing to the younger style of fighter. I think Prado, man, he can work, especially because he has good head movement in there. He's able to put good work together. I just think Jake Matthews has seen more, done more, and has more in his arsenal to be able to put the pace on, man. Put Prado not necessarily in a washing machine, but have him confused on what's going on and what your next move is.
I think he has to utilize the tenacity of Prado. He has to weaponize it against him. You know what I mean? He has to tire him out. The big bombs are going to be coming his way. When you look at wins against Philip Rowe, Andre Fialho for Jake Matthews, you're like, wow, impressive stuff, right? But then you look at losses to Morales, which is not a bad loss at all, but you lost to Semi the Jedi, who is actually no longer, I don't think he's in the UFC anymore. I think he officially got released from the UFC. So it's a big drop-off, man. It's like a continuity type of issue here for Jake Matthews. Francisco Prado, on the other hand, man, I mean, that win against Azatar, that was a good win, right? But a couple nasty losses, the Malarkey and Zellhuber, right? Some losses. AJ, what can Francisco Prado do to put himself on the map here, aside from a first-round knockout? He could submit him, too. Jake Matthews has been submitted a couple times, I think 3 times in his career. What can he do to put himself on the map?
I think one of the big things is avoid looking chaotic and careless inside the pocket, right? Because Jake Matthews, one of the big things I had, like, coinciding in these fighters, they're down to sit in the pocket and trade. Matthews is just smarter about how he does it, where Francisco Prado, he just looks like a wild man. Reckless abandonment, I'm going to take your head off. If he's able to have that, but then pull back a little bit and then go back in again, instead of just reckless abandonment, like he can have just a little bit of tact to that, that'll be an evolution I think can push him going further and further into the division, utilizing that same style against a bunch of different other fighters.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's fair. Clean it up a little bit. Something that comes with experience and maturity, right? But I'm really looking at the Jake Matthews, and I'm looking at plus 105 points prop right there. What do you make?
Ooh, plus 105 points prop. I mean, obviously, you saw, folks, we're looking at Matthews to be winning this fight, and at a minus 225 money line, a lot of people, or at least on the open, a lot of people are thinking the same thing. I mean, plus, it's his best odd to be winning on all the prop lines as well. I think it's the smartest way to go about it, because you're not wanting to come in on an absolute crusher like Prado. So I do think it makes a lot of sense, Derek. I like it. Now, if you leverage the experience of Jake Matthews and you're still not sold that he gets the job done, but you think that his veteranship can like draw this fight out, fight goes the distance, minus 140, or over 2.5, minus 175. Which one do you like better? I like the minus 140 to go the distance a little bit better, Derek, especially if you're confident in Jake Matthews and his durability, right? Even if he doesn't win the fight on this one, because Prado, he has some good combos. He's down to brawl, but Jake Matthews is durable, and then he can shoot a takedown. Extend this fight even longer. I like the distance at minus 140.
Yeah, one thing I have noticed with Prado, too, a lot of his knockouts come early, man. 8 first-round finishes, and the man has 12 fights, right? So it's like if the fight extends, he might hurt you, but is he going to get that knockout? That's where we lean into that a little bit more. So consensus pick, the Celtic Kid, Jake Matthews, but Francisco Prado is a live dog here as well. Don't get me wrong. Like, this dude can end the fight in one shot.